Hello, seventh graders, and welcome to your spelling class, Module 5, first trimester 2021. In this class, we're going to be talking about heteronyms. We're going to learn about heteronyms. And what is a heteronym? Well, a heteronym is a word that can have different meanings depending on how it's pronounced. So these are words that are spelled exactly the same way. You spell them exactly the same way, but you pronounce them differently, and each pronunciation has a different meaning. I know, I told you, English is an interesting language. So that's what we're going to work on today. And I'm going to give you 7 sentences in which the same word is going to be pronounced twice, but spelled exactly the same way and with completely different meanings. So this is going to be a little bit more challenging for some of you. Don't worry, you've got this, you can do it. As always, you're going to send me a recording with your voice reading each of the sentences. Now make sure you read very, very slowly. I have noticed that a lot of you want to speak quickly and then you make mistakes. When you are learning a language, don't be ashamed of speaking slowly, okay? That way you get all the sounds in correctly and it's easier for the person who's listening to understand you. As always, if you have any questions, email me at itmustbeenglish@gmail.com. Itmustbeenglish@gmail.com. So you're going to begin your recording as always. Only say, hello teacher, my name is Peter Peterson, number 1, number 2, blah, blah, blah. Do not tell me this is Mary from 10th grade. I know what grade you're in. Trust me. Just give me your name and immediately start reading the sentences. Remember, go very slowly. Don't try to rush and to say it quickly because you're going to lose points for mispronouncing words. In order to be fair, I'm not going to take off points for mispronouncing all the other words in the sentence. However, if you really, really don't get the sounds even close, I'm going to have to take off points. I'm going to be focusing on the two words which are spelled exactly the same but have different meanings. So first, I'm going to read this to you, and then I'm going to show you the sentence. Number 1. The bandage was wound around the wound. The bandage was wound around the wound. Now the words there are wound and wound. They're written exactly the same, wound and wound. The second one is, the farm was cultivated to produce a variety of produce. The farm was cultivated to produce a variety of produce. So you have produce and produce, okay? It all depends on where you put the emphasis, produce and produce. Number 3, the dump was so full that the workers had to refuse any more refuse. The dump was so full that the workers had to refuse any more refuse. The words there are, the heteronyms are refuse and refuse. Number 4, remember to polish the Polish antiques. Remember to polish the Polish antiques. The words are polish and Polish. Number 5, he will lead the way when he gets the lead out of his shoe. He will lead the way when he gets the lead out of his shoe. Lead and lead. Remember, we're dealing with heteronyms. These words are spelled exactly the same, but the meaning changes depending on the pronunciation. Number 6, the soldier had to desert his dessert and run into the desert. I love this one so much. The soldier had to desert his dessert and run into the desert. Okay, so we have 3 of them. One of them is not spelled exactly like the other 2, it's just an extra S, but I thought it would be fun to just put it in there. The soldier had to desert his dessert and run into the desert. And number 7. Oh, in number 6, the 3 words are dessert, dessert, and desert. Number 7, he shot at the dove and it dove into the pond. He shot at the dove and it dove into the pond. And the heteronyms here are dove and dove. So let me share my screen with you so you can take a look at these sentences, and we're going to try it a little bit, one more time. And this class is going to be a little bit longer than usual, but hey, you know a lot more now, you're smarter. So of course, things need to get more complicated. Okay, so there are your 7 sentences. And the words that we're focusing on, the heteronyms, are all highlighted in red. And we have 15 words, okay? So those are the words that I'm gonna be looking for you to pronounce properly. And of course, you also have to pronounce the rest of the sentence properly. The bandage was wound around the wound. The bandage was wound around the wound. 2, the farm was cultivated to produce a variety of produce. The farm was cultivated to produce a variety of produce. 3, the dump was so full that the workers had to refuse any more refuse. The dump was so full that the workers had to refuse any more refuse. 4, remember to polish the Polish antiques. Remember to polish the Polish antiques. 5, he will lead the way when he gets the lead out of his shoe. He will lead the way when he gets the lead out of his shoe. 6, the soldier had to desert his desert and run into the desert. The soldier had to desert his desert and run into the desert. And 7, he shot at the dove and it dove into the pond. He shot at the dove and it dove into the pond. So those words, those heteronyms are wound, wound, produce, produce, refuse, refuse, polish, polish, lead, led, desert, 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 dove, dove. Okay, if you have any questions, be sure to send me an email at itmustbeenglish@gmail.com. This was fun. See you next time. Bye-bye.